The investigation into Barack Obama and his administration, it does continue, seems to be reaching a fever pitch. Now, yesterday, DNI Tulsi Gabbard, she laid out even more accusations against Barack Obama, and I'm going to call them his henchmen, as they tried to frame Donald Trump in this whole Russian collusion thing. Now, first of all, one of the things that she did was she went through some of the key findings from a House Intel report that has now been classified. There was this moment, as Gabbard is laying all of this out, one of the things I noticed is that CNN, I don't know if you saw this, CNN actually couldn't take it anymore, and they broke in. Listen to what they did.
Multiple intelligence community assessments released in the months leading up to the November 2016 election concluded that Russia had neither the intent nor capability to impact the outcome of the U.S. election. On December 5th.
We've been listening there to the Director of National Intelligence, Tulsi Gabbard, continuing on what has now been a multi-day effort, not only with public statements like this, but release of documents to attempt to back up the...
You'll notice the hit on the word attempt.
Attempt.
Right? Did you hear that, Joan?
Oh, I did. That's like Peter Jennings used to do the raised eyebrow thing.
Yes.
Yeah, it's just like that. It's the raised eyebrow in audio form.
There you go.
Release of documents to attempt to back up the quite extreme allegation that President...
How is that an extreme allegation? Like, this is what frustrates me, is that you've got this guy on CNN. I don't even know who this is, but the extraordinary allegation, in other words, what he's trying to do, the picture that he's trying to paint is that these are accusations that are seemingly, there's nothing behind them. Do you know what I mean? They're accusations, but they have no meat. That's what he's trying to say. And I'm sorry, but if the Department of National Intelligence, if the DNI comes out with these actual reports and these actual specific allegations with receipts, well, yeah, those are extraordinary allegations. Do you know why? Because what they did was extraordinarily bad, because what Obama and Brennan and all these people tried to do was hijack a presidency. That's what they tried to do. They tried to hijack a presidency, and they tried to politically assassinate Donald Trump's term in office. And so, yeah, this is pretty extraordinary. Yeah, it sure is.
President Obama is guilty of treason and that he worked in some sort of conspiracy with Hillary Clinton, et cetera, in the assessment by the intelligence community at the time that Russia interfered in the 2016 election.
So I guess the question is, and by the way, I believe that was right in the beginning, Joan, of that press conference. I don't know for certain, but I think that it was right in the beginning. Mm-hmm. So what is it that CNN doesn't want the American people to hear? Well, thankfully, there's people like me that have all the audio. So why wouldn't CNN, at the very least, air the press conference and then have someone there to give a perspective from the left, their side of the aisle, or refute the allegations? Instead, they don't want people to hear the allegations. And so let's be honest. Part of this discussion is how the media was complicit in all of this. They screamed that Donald Trump and Russian collusion for years. Well, let's hear what Tulsi Gabbard had to say.
Putin's principal interests relating to the 2016 election were to undermine faith in the U.S. democratic process, not show any preference of a certain candidate. In fact, this report shows Putin held back from leaking compromising material on Hillary Clinton prior to the election, instead planning to release it after the election to weaken what Moscow viewed as an inevitable Clinton presidency.
There you go. And this is from Fox News. Russia's Foreign Intelligence Service, the SVR, possessed DNC communications. This is DNC communications, folks, that Hillary Clinton was suffering from intensified psycho-emotional problems, including uncontrolled fits of anger, aggression, and cheerfulness. I think you could just have stopped at psycho when you're talking about Hillary Clinton. They stated the report, which the committee based on 20 interviews with intelligence officers and FBI agents, as well as a review of source material for the 2017 Obama-ordered report on Russian election meddling. And so this was all over the media last night and this morning, this discussion about what the DNC and what their communications were related to Hillary Clinton being, having this intensified psycho-emotional problems, including uncontrolled fits of anger, aggression, and cheerfulness. Clinton was placed on a daily regimen of heavy tranquilizers. And while afraid of losing, she remained obsessed with a thirst for power. I mean, heavy tranquilizers. We spoke earlier when I talked about this in the 5 o'clock hour. Remember when she was leaving that 9/11 function in New York City, I think it was, and she was. They're trying to get her into the van, and she collapsed.
And she collapses. Yeah,
she collapsed. Nobody ever had
out.
any. Yeah, nobody ever had any kind of an explanation for that, Joan.
Nope. She's fine. You're seeing nothing here. I remember those reports. They said she's fine. She's exhausted.
Well, and they say uncontrolled fits of anger, aggression, and cheerfulness. I mean, that sounds
manic.
Thank you.
I'm sorry, manic.
Manic. That was the word I was looking for. Manic.
I'll take it a step further. It sounds like she was possessed.
Well, I think Hillary's nuts anyway. By September 2016, some of those communications showed then President Barack Obama and Democratic Party bosses found the state of Clinton's health extremely alarming, extraordinarily alarming, and fretted that it could have a serious negative impact on her ability to beat Donald Trump that November. But there's more. There's a lot more beyond just health and tranquilizers.
In the January 2017 intelligence community assessment that President Obama ordered, John Brennan, who was CIA director at the time, and the intelligence community intentionally suppressed intelligence that showed Putin was saving the most damaging material that he had in his possession about Hillary Clinton until after her potential and likely victory. The report goes into great detail about the information that Russia and Putin had on Hillary Clinton, which included possible criminal acts like secret meetings with multiple named U.S. religious organizations in which State Department officials offered, in exchange for supporting Secretary Clinton's campaign for the presidency, significant increases in financing from the State Department.
So, when I play that, I don't hear any collusion between Donald Trump and Russia. I hear collusion between Hillary and these religious leaders and Hillary and the State Department and these employees pledging their support for Hillary Clinton. And the point of all of this is to say that Putin wasn't trying to help Trump or Clinton. What he was trying to do was create doubt in our political process. That is ultimately what he was trying to do. And by the way, yours truly said this on WTN back in 2016.
Then CIA Director Brennan and the intelligence community mischaracterized intelligence and relied on dubious substandard sources to create a contrived false narrative that Putin developed a quote-unquote clear preference for Trump.
Right. It was all a bunch of BS. So they ignored the facts that are present, right? I'm talking about Obama. I'm talking about Clapper and Comey and all of the Brennan and all these folks. So they ignore the facts that are present, that Vladimir Putin is trying to simply cause chaos, and instead they set forward with a new set of their own made-up facts that creates the narrative that Vladimir Putin is trying to help Donald Trump, and that Donald Trump was in on it.
Brennan and the IC misled lawmakers by referencing the debunked Steele dossier to assess, quote-unquote, Russia's plans and intentions, falsely suggesting that this dossier had intelligence value when he knew that it was discredited. The intelligence community excluded significant intelligence and ignored or selectively quoted reliable intelligence that contradicted the intelligence community assessment's key findings on Putin's alleged support for Trump.
Yep.
Including this intelligence reporting would have exposed the ICA's claim as implausible, if not ridiculous.
Right. And we've all been pointing out that before the election, Russia did not have the intention or the ability to influence our election. And that was exactly what the Obama administration needed to change. So they all had a meeting. It's December 9th of 2016. And you had President Obama, you had John Brennan, you had Susan Rice, and a lot of others, and they hatched their plan.
Following that secret meeting, DNI Clapper's assistant sent an email to the intelligence community with the subject line, POTUS tasking on Russia election meddling, tasking ODNI leaders to create a new assessment per the president's request. The House Intelligence Committee Oversight Report that we released today reveals that, quote, unlike routine intelligence community analysis, the intelligence community assessment was a high-profile product ordered by the president, President Obama. It directed senior intelligence community agency heads and created an intelligence community assessment limited to just 5 analysts using one principal drafter. This is not something that occurs in the normal path of producing an intelligence community assessment that reflects the views across the intelligence community.
So they tighten the circle. That's what they're doing. They're tightening the circle. Obama orders an assessment using just 5 analysts and 1 drafter. And again, that means that he is tightening the circle, the people that are in on it. Now, why would that be? Well, it turns out it's because they wanted to use intelligence or material that was dubious at best to try to frame Donald Trump.
The production of this intelligence community assessment was subject to unusual directives directly from the president and senior political appointees, especially the former director of the CIA, John Brennan. The House Intelligence Committee Oversight Report also shows how later that same day, on December 9th, Brennan ordered the publication of quote-unquote substandard reporting on Russian activities, which had previously been withheld from publication of prior assessments because the information was judged, quote, to have not met long-standing publication standards. Some of the information later used in the Obama-ordered assessment over the objections of veteran CIA officers was, quote-unquote, unclear or from unknown sources.
Right. And so you have very few people and 1 drafter trying to basically execute Obama's directive to try to frame Trump, ignoring, by the way, that Hillary was also being targeted by Vladimir Putin, ignoring that Russia really didn't want to influence the election. He was eyeing some post-election drama by bringing up all of the previously mentioned issues with Hillary Clinton's health, ignoring the fact that they had even said that Vladimir Putin did not have the ability to influence the election. Instead, Obama and his henchmen plow forward with all of this BS information to get Donald Trump.
The Intelligence Committee's oversight report reveals that CIA Director Brennan overruled senior CIA officers who challenged the Obama-ordered intelligence assessment, stating, quote, we don't have direct information that Putin wanted to get Trump elected. Yet, the Obama-directed assessment was published on January 6, 2017, which explicitly stated, quote, we assess Putin and the Russian government aspired to help President-elect Trump's election chances when possible by discrediting Secretary Clinton and publicly contrasting her unfavorably to him, end of quote. The CIA and FBI, then led by John Brennan and James Comey, expressed high confidence in this judgment, while the NSA expressed moderate confidence. Yet, as the report we released today shows, the ICA, the Intelligence Community Assessment, did not cite any report where Putin indicated helping Trump win was an objective. The opposite is true.
Exactly. So I got to tell you, I love what Tulsi Gabbard did yesterday. She absolutely brought the receipts. Real quickly, John Brennan was in front of Congress, and this was when all of this was being investigated. And he said, no, the dossier was not used in the assessment that Donald Trump and the Russians colluded. Well, it turns out, if you believe the documents that are available and have been released, it turns out that it was. And this is John Brennan lying to Congress.
Did the CIA rely on it?
No.
Why not? because we didn't. It wasn't part of the corpus of intelligence information that we had. It was not in any way used as a basis for the intelligence community assessment that was done. It was not.
All right, so that is John Brennan. And by the way, Tulsi Gabbard pushed back on that assessment. I've got that audio straight ahead. By the way, find me on X, if you will, and Dan Mandis Show. And I did a poll today. We couldn't do it on YouTube for technical reasons, but on X I did. Do you believe that anything will come of Tulsi Gabbard's investigation into Obama on Russian collusion? And 26% of you said yes, and 74% of you said no. One of the things that I mentioned in the 5 o'clock hour is, okay, so to what end? Why is Tulsi Gabbard doing this? And here's the problem. Here's the bottom line, at least for me, is that this is going to more than likely have to go through a grand jury. Ultimately, if it even gets that far, it's going to have to go to a grand jury. Where is that grand jury going to be pulled from? That grand jury will be pulled from Washington, D.C. And we know already that a jury pool from Washington, D.C. is going to be extremely supportive of one Barack Hussein Obama. There are a lot of lefties over there. There are a lot of progressives out there, a lot of Democrats. Oh, and by the way, Donald Trump just fired a lot of those people who worked for the federal government. So that is the question. Will this ultimately lead to anything? Dan here, along with Chris Hand. Hello, Chris.
Hello, Dan.
Joan is here. Hello, Joan.
Hello, Dan.
Sam is scowling at me already. It's only like day number 3.
I've been nothing but smiles today. What are you talking about?
Listen, I know, but ask any guy that's married. Sometimes when the wife is smiling at you, not that you're my wife, but when the wife is smiling at you, she is secretly plotting your death. Ask Hillary and Bill.
No, she'll just give me those eyes. I don't.
Were you surprised,
The
Chris?
dagger eyes.
Dagger eyes. That's right.
If Hillary gives you those eyes, run.
They're real daggers.
She might pull one of those tranquilizers out of her butt and, send it to you. So were you surprised at this? This is DNC conversations going back and forth that she had all of these issues.
I mean, I wasn't necessarily surprised at the health problems because we kind of saw that happening in real time with the coughing. Wasn't there like a picture of her going around with a hole in her tongue and a loogie going back into a cup? You remember that?
No.
Yes.
You don't remember that?
A hole in her tongue?
Come on. Did you see the photos of it? It was gross.
Yeah.
She speaks with forked tongue. So
she does. She's one of those lizard people. So it's bound to happen.
Yes.
So no, I wasn't surprised about that, but I wish that there was more tranquilizers. I feel like she would have benefited from being more sedated throughout the campaign.
Bill would have liked that as well.
Yeah, true.
Let's see here. She was
Awful.
suffering from intensified psycho-emotional problems. Did you hear my joke today?
No.
You could have just stopped at psycho with Hillary.
Nailed it.
Including uncontrolled fits of anger, aggression, and cheerfulness.
That one threw me off.
It did throw me off, too. It's like, what does a uncontrolled fit of cheerfulness even mean?
That's probably more scary than the anger.
Yeah.
Like if you're used to unhinged Hillary coming in and throwing things and cursing and yelling, and she came in and she's just chipper,
yeah,
I'd be much more nervous.
I'd be worried.
Run.
So, okay, we all remember when she was walking into that van and she collapsed.
Yep.
Remember?
And that was that. And just to remind everybody, everybody's always like, "Oh, I can't do anything." Like, what can I do? You guys are on the radio. That was an independent, just a civilian who took that video and completely changed the course of the election just by posting it on X. So anybody out there who's like, what can I do? It's like, you can do a lot.
Hold on. Has anybody done a well check on that individual?
No, I haven't heard from him.
Come on, they might have been killeried.
Do you remember that?
It was a shame. He committed suicide by jumping down the stairs and shooting himself twice in the back.
With a long gun.
Yeah, many such cases.
Do you remember the balloon episode where the balloons came down and she had this really weird sort of like manic look on her face?
Yes, because I remember the memes that came after that.
Memes.
Because her mouth was wide open.
Yeah, it was so bizarre. I wonder if that was one of those moments of uncontrolled cheerfulness.
Maybe. Balloons do that to people.
They don't do it to me.
No?
No.
I don't do it for my kids either. Usually it's like we're at Chick-fil-A and there's 4 kids and 3 balloons left. It's like, oh, gosh.
Oh, no.
It's about to turn Mad Max in here.
She was placed on that daily regimen of heavy tranquilizers. And, again, probably could have been heavier.
It could have been.
Could have been heavier.
I want to run with that nickname someone pointed out in the YouTube chat, Ketamine Clinton.
Ooh.
Oh, my gosh.
A lot of people talk about that ketamine.
They do.
Yeah, I don't know what. I think we talked about this before. Chris, you would know this. So, what do people feel when you're on ketamine?
I have no
Come
idea.
on, druggy Chris, tell us.
I have no idea. Never done ketamine. Isn't that the horse tranquilizer?
It's what killed Matthew
Perry.
Perry.
I'm pretty sure it's a horse
Doctor just pled
tranquilizer.
guilty.
I don't think it's a horse tranquilizer. That's that other stuff for COVID.
Yeah.
That Joe Rogan took.
Ketamine has been used as an anesthetic for horses.
Joan, I told you it's
a horse,
been a thing
it's
for
a
horses.
horse. It's a horse tranquilizer.
You told me. Hey, Chris, did you try to get a cup of coffee today?
No, I did not try to
Yeah.
get a cup of coffee today.
It's a good thing because there's no coffee pot.
Beware.
They've all been shattered.
I've heard that Mandis didn't get his daily regimen of tranquilizer and came in here in a fit of rage when we were expecting cheerfulness.
So
Yeah.
all I tried to do this morning was make a cup of coffee, and I destroyed the kitchen.
So how did you do this?
So I go in and I try to make a pot of coffee. And so it's the same thing every day. I make my coffee. I go talk to Joan. I come back and I get my coffee. I do that. I come back. There is coffee all over the counter, all over the floor. And so it turns out there is a wee little hole in the coffee pot. But I didn't discover that until the second pot of coffee. So I thought there's clearly something wrong with the coffee maker because we've had that issue before.
Wait, you broke 2 coffee pots?
No. So I thought, okay, I'm going to try this again. So I
And have you already cleaned up the glass and the coffee
yes,
at this
I have.
point?
I that's why I was so ill prepared this morning. So because I was cleaning the kitchen. So I tried to, I cleaned it up. And then I decided, okay, I'm going to try to make a second pot of coffee. Maybe it was the coffee maker and not the coffee pot. So I start making a second pot of coffee with that same pot, and it explodes.
No.
Yeah. And so I come back, and there's glass. And the kitchen that I just cleaned up is a mess again with all of that stuff. And
Wait, so the first time the pot was just leaking.
But I didn't realize it was the pot. I thought that it was somehow the coffee maker because we've had problems with the coffee maker before.
Got you.
Yeah. And so I had to get the slippery when wet sign from the office, from the janitor's office or
Excellent
whatever.
Bon Jovi album.
Yes. And I had to get the mop, and I actually had to mop and clean up I had to do everything.
Everything.
You're a jack of all trades.
And then I had to go and I had to tell all the other, people in the building, hey, beware, because I'm trying to clean up this massive mess in the kitchen.
So there was a walk of shame involved, too.
A little bit of a walk of shame. You know what I could have done? I could have just left it and be like, I don't know who did that.
Can you believe somebody left that mess there?
Who would leave this mess? Because you and I both know that the cameras in there don't work.
I didn't know that.
Oh, they don't work. You know how I know
Whoa.
that? Because people keep stealing my lunch. So if the cameras work, they would have been able to figure out who it is.
Stop bringing tasty food.
It's not tasty. My food sucks. I don't know why people steal it.
Why do you bring it if it's bad?
Well, because it's healthy.
Oh.
Avocados and the like.
Oh.
I
People
do,
like avocados.
I do avocados, and I do. Nobody cares about this. Cracker and cheese, little cracker and cheese snacks. So that's what I do.
He said nobody cares about this.
No, they
People
don't.
care.
Nobody cares.
How are you eating your avocado? Are you cutting it in half and going with a spoon?
Yeah, I bring it in a little. Well, no, you bring it in a plastic thing.
You bring your avocados in a plastic thing?
You mean
Jill,
like
please help me.
Like a Tupperware?
Yeah, Tupperware.
Okay.
Yeah, you bring.
Do you bag your bananas before you bring them in too?
No, but you cut your avocado and then you have lime and you put a little lime on it. It's tasty.
Okay. I'm
You know,
not
you
judging
could-
the avocado.
you know what?
I'm just judging the manner in which you're breaking into this thing.
Judging avocados is like that's what happened to Hillary Clinton. If she had eaten healthier, she wouldn't have been so
That's
manic
true.
and weird. So
No, it's true.
anyway, so again, nobody cares about that. All right, so You want to talk about what we're going to talk about today on the podcast?
Yes, let's do it. So we got, we're going to be recording Mostly Peaceful with Dan and Chris, episode number 3 today.
Yep.
First 2 episodes.
Massively successful.
Massive success.
Joe Rogan is looking over his shoulder.
He should be. He should be. Did you see that? I think it was CNN put out a list of the 100 greatest podcasts, and they left Joe Rogan off the list.
Did they really?
Yeah.
What?
Fake news.
Then that whole list is just bogus.
It's bunk.
Were we on there?
Yeah, we were at number 99. We just inched in.
Sure. Anyway,
we just inched in. They said, judging from the first 2 episodes,
yeah,
by next year these guys are going to be skyrocketing up.
Well,
the
and
list.
this one's going to be a banger.
Yes,
because I have to do a deep dive into
Brigitte Macron's penis.
Yeah.
Oh, great.
Le oui oui. So I want people to know, first of all, and I will not mention this on the podcast, but I'm actually doing this topic in protest because I don't understand why apparently Candace Owens is putting her career on the line, her credibility on the line by focusing on
Brigitte Macron's penis.
So that's what I've got to do for the next 3 hours between now and the podcast taping is I need to do a lot of, investigation and research into
Brigitte Macron's penis. Are you going to do Google image looking for bumps?
I haven't really thought about it.
That's what people do with the Michelle Obama theories.
Okay. But can I ask...
They'll be like, look at her dancing on Ellen.
Can I ask, though, why is it that Candace Owens and others seem to think that she's a man?
They say that she is really her brother. And that she went through all these surgeries.
She is Macron's brother?
She is her brother. She's really Jean-Michel Trudeau or something like that.
Okay.
And she was originally born a man. And that's the theory. They said that there's no pictures of her pregnant. It's a lot of the same kind of stuff that you get about the Michelle Obama rumors. But for me, it just seems like the French president is protesting a bit too much. You know, they reached out to Trump to have Trump reach out to Candace to ask her to stop talking about it. There was a defamation lawsuit from 2 French journalists that originally broke this story that has been thrown out of court.
Broke the story.
They broke the story.
Okay.
Yeah. They did.
What's the point of all this? Like, okay,
I don't know,
can I just say this?
It's fun.
Can I say this? What if she is a man? Who cares?
Yeah.
I truly don't care. I mean, don't we?
I think that would change a lot of things because everybody knows and
what would it change?
That slug.
It would change.
When she slugged Macron in the face on the airplane.
I thought you were referring to something else.
The way she hit him. I mean, she probably really hurt him.
Yeah, she probably did. But I think there's some interesting points to be made. I mean,
all right. Well, save it for the thing.
Okay,
save it for the podcast.
She met him and he was like 14. She was like 25 years older than him. If that's a dude.
25 years older?
Yeah, 25, 24 years older.
So 14, 24, 34, 39. So she was 39?
She was like just about 40, yeah.
Okay.
When she met Trudeau, or Macron, sorry. And she was his teacher. So there's like a lot of weird grooming stuff going on in this relationship in the first place. It's a very weird relationship.
All right. So again, I'm doing this out of protest, but I will do it. And I'm going to do a lot of investigation into
Brigitte Macron's wee wee.
Wee wee. We got to go.
I'm looking forward to it.
I'm not.
Why?
But you know what?
It's going to be fun, though. We're going to have fun.
I've got to figure out what to say about it because I think it's. I don't know why Candace. She's a really smart woman.
I think that
I don't know why she is. Don't we have other things to look at and investigate? Why is she so obsessed with this? Whatever. If she wants to do that, okay. But I don't get it.
I just don't think that she. I mean, Candace has done so much at this point that I think she's just doing like almost passion projects. Like she's interested in it, so she's going for it.
John in Lawrenceburg says, Dan, just say no. No. I'm going to be a good sport about this. I'm going to be a good sport. All right, we got to go. 8:50, Nashville's Morning News. Very quickly, Chris, what are you doing for your show?
On the show, we will not be talking about Brigitte Macron's penis. We are saving that for the podcast, I assure you. What we are going to talk about is we're going to talk about the Spygate revelations from Tulsi Gabbard yesterday. We're going to talk about the media's coverage or lack thereof of that. We're also going to talk to Senator Marsha Blackburn about Obama and Spygate, as well as the DEI policies that are still being enacted at Vanderbilt while the employees caught under hidden camera besmirched Senator Blackburn's name.
Called her a representative.
I know.
What is wrong with you people at Vanderbilt?
They don't know anything.
Brentwood, well, they know how to try to hide their DEI practices.
Yep.
That's what they seem to be good at, but not really because they admitted it on camera. And she's going to be with you at 10:45.
Yep. Senator Blackburn will comment on all of that.
Do you think she'll have a comment about Brigitte Macron's?
I'll ask her. You want me to ask her?
That and when she's running for governor.
Perfect. I'll be like, Senator, 2 more questions before you go.
Make sure they're the last questions.
Your thoughts.
All right, so ask the question, and the rest of us will answer.
Okay, so we saw news yesterday that the House is going to subpoena Ghislaine Maxwell as well as Bill and Hillary Clinton. So I posed the question to Dan off the air. Who are you more excited to see subpoenaed and interviewed by the House? Is it Bill and Hillary, or is it Ghislaine Maxwell?
I want Hillary. I can't wait to see Hillary because I want to see her go into a seizure.
I just feel like it's going to be Benghazi flashbacks. At this point, what difference does it make?
Oh, it makes a lot of difference, actually. And I think that there's a big difference between Hillary Clinton Benghazi and Hillary Clinton 2025. Joan, what do you think?
Oh, I definitely want to see the Clinton squirm. The squirmage will be nice.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I low-key, I think Bill would be more entertaining than Hillary.
I think Bill has that I really don't care attitude. Like, how's this going to hurt me?
Mm-hmm.
But Hillary she's still edgy. She's still defensive.
She's psycho.
And she's psycho.
I mean, that's not me. That's the DNC talking.
Right.
Will she be on a heavy dose of tranquilizers that day?
I think there's possibility there.
You know, every time, and Sam, I'm going to get to yours, but every time I hear tranquilizers, do you know what I think of?
What?
I think of shooting her with an elephant gun.
Wasn't that in what movie was that?
I don't know,
with
man.
Will Ferrell. It was Old School. Old School. He got shot with a tranquilizer gun.
Yep.
He's like, in the neck. You're crazy, man. You're crazy.
I think blow darts would be fun.
Here she comes. Get the tranquilizer gun.
Yeah.
All right. Sam, what do you say? Who are you looking more forward to testifying? Bill and Hillary or Ghislaine?
Definitely the Clintons. I think Ghislaine's either going to stick to what she said at her trial and, is going to go with a you give me a deal and I'll talk position to reduce her sentence.
Yep.
And I'm also with Representative Burchett. I wouldn't trust anything if it deviates from her testimony in court. So the Clintons hearing Bill get up there and talk about what? Very similar to our previous president.
Bill, Tim Burchett called her a liar and a dirtbag.
Which one, Hillary or Ghislaine? Because it could fit either.
Yeah, it could, actually. You need to be more specific.
Please be more specific. Well, I've said that the entire time. Ghislaine Maxwell, how much of a credible witness is she going to be?
She's not. She's going to say whatever she needs to say to be able to get her a good deal and out of prison.
Yep.
That's what she's going to say. So we'll have to see ultimately what happens. Todd Blanche, the assistant AG or deputy AG, is going to talk to her today, as a matter of fact. So, to be a fly on the wall.
I know. It'd be wild, man.
So do you think she knows, like, what to say to get out of prison? Or, like, is her lawyer saying, here's what you say, wink, wink, nod, nod, so that they know that we can cut a deal?
I mean,
I don't know how that works.
Is there any way that she gets out of prison at this point?
I mean, I
don't think so. I don't think so.
Not. She shouldn't.
She was already found guilty, right? So it's not like they can go back and cut a deal on that.
It could.
He could negotiate. She won't testify unless there is a deal in place, regardless of what she says.
Yeah, I don't think that's going to happen.
There you go. Okay, very good.